quandary to present to you in this late night on this newest episode of For Your Distraction, Scott. If somehow humanity invented immortality, would you want to be a recipient of said drug, shot, whatever it could be? Like, would you want to be immortal?
Is there an exit plan? Like,
no, once you're immortal, you're immortal.
Like, there's no turning back?
There's no turning back. None of it. Like, once you are immortal, you are immortal. Like, you will never die.
I've seen enough vampire films to know that being immortal is not all it's cracked up to be. Do we have to, like...
Dude, I just got bit so I can see future cars. It's an old Key and Peele bit. They did a vampire bit.
I just want to see future cars. Yeah, I remember that. But, like, do you have to do anything? Do you have to, like, drink the blood of the innocent? Do you have to chop off another immortal's head? Do you have to do something to continue your immortality? Or do you just, like do podcasts and drink beer?
Yeah, basically, just do podcasts and drink beer.
Like, there's no catch?
There's no real catch. It's one of those things where it's like, it's an innovation of humanity.
Like, it's a vaccine.
Like penicillin was an innovation of humanity, or a thing like that.
It's a vaccine.
We have discovered how to beat death at his own game, and we fucked him in the ass. Like, we figured it out. We know why the body degrades, because as you know, in life, no matter how healthy you are, no matter how well you treat your body, no matter how well you eat, your body will degrade eventually, and you will die. We have figured out the secret. We have figured out the secret for why that happens, and we have genetically altered the human DNA to where it will never, ever, ever do that. You will live forever.
I would do it only if, like, my family, loved ones, like, if we all went in on it and, like, we all agreed to do it, then I would do it. I wouldn't want to be that vampire or that immortal that just, like, grows old and watch the people you love die in front of your eyes.
That was going to be my second part of the question. Okay, what if you were the only person offered it?
No,
some mythical being comes out of God or Jesus comes out and says, I want you to be immortal. Would you accept this gift that I give you?
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. That would be too... I would do it with everybody. Everybody or nobody. That's
everybody or nobody?
What about you?
I would take it no matter what.
Really?
No matter what. I don't care. No matter... I want to see... It's the old bit. I want to see future cars. I want to see the future. I want to see where humanity... I've talked about this before. I'm just going to get a little deep. I've talked about it before, my theory of what the afterlife is. All right, what I want the afterlife to be, basically, is what it is. Because as you know, I'm agnostic. I have no one belief. I'm out there discovering new things and trying to figure things out. What I want my afterlife to be is I want the ability to live through time and space wherever and whenever I want. I want the ability to see the beginning of the universe. I want the ability to see the beginning of the world, the first creature that came out of the muck that was more than a single-celled organism. I want to see the first man. I want to see...
You want to be God.
I just want to... But I don't want to manipulate a thing. I just want to witness it. And if so, experience it. Like I want to be able to... Like, let's say, you know, I'm witnessing your life. And there's a moment in your life that's like, oh, that looks interesting. I want to be able to take possession of your body and not control anything. You do your thing, but I just want to experience what you're experiencing. And then when that's done,
actually, like,
leave.
Possess other people now. You can't just be like invisible fly on the wall. Like, you're actually...
I want to be able to experience certain things, like things that I've never experienced before. Like, I want to be able to, like, that looks really interesting. I wonder what that felt like. And I just imbue myself in the mindset and the body of that person, and I don't have any control over it, but I experience what's going on. And then when the experience is done, I leave and like, oh, that was fun. Let me continue on with whatever I want to look at. Like, I want to be able to see the fucking universe from the beginning to the end. I want to see every single life. I want to see every single bit of it. I want to see from the first mountain that grows, from the first tree that grows.
I want to become Billy Joel when he bangs 1988 Christy Brinkley. Like, you would just do that then.
Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Like, I'll live through Billy Joel's life, and I won't. Once again, I'll be
the piano man.
Once again, I will just be a viewer of it. I will not be in control. I cannot change events. I can't do any of that shit. That is like my dream afterlife. I just want to witness the universe and see what's going on and see the secrets of the universe and not do anything with it. I just want to know. You know? I want to know. Can you show me? That's what I want to do.
Phil Collins?
That's the from what Disney movie is that?
That's from Tarzan.
Tarzan, yeah.
That's Phil motherfucking Collins. You know, we gotta appreciate Phil Collins. He didn't have to go that hard on the Tarzan soundtrack, but he did. He did that for us. We need to show him the respect that he deserves for that Tarzan soundtrack.
Do you know where I got the theory of my afterlife? From Star Trek Voyager, when the first episode Q was on Voyager. Whenever there was the other Q that was trapped in that asteroid, and they pulled him out, and then John Delancey, Q, comes around and is like, oh, what have you done now, Q, blah, blah, blah. And they have that little thing. When they went to the Q continuum for the first time, and they made it representative of a long desert road with like a gas stop, and Q had said that, you know, I've been the scarecrow, I've been the dog, I've been this, you know, just for the experience, you know, to see what it's like. That's whenever I first thought, like, that's fucking what I want to do. Like, I want to be the fucking dog. I want to be the fly on the wall. I want to be the person, you know, storming D-Day. I want to be the person, you know, experiencing, you know, the birth of his child for the first time. Like, I just experiencing and witnessing the universe. Very deep. That's my dream. That's my dream afterlife.
That's very magical, I think. Like, when you put it like that, it's how much knowledge can you learn from a book or a TV show? As
much knowledge as is in the book or the
right.
TV show.
You don't know from living it is a completely different thing.
Yes. Oh, I'm all about that. I want to see stars born and stars die. That's all I want to do.
But like you can jump through time.
Yes, I can do what I can go wherever the fuck I want.
I was gonna say like if that's not what you offered me. Because if you give me this vaccine, I live forever.
No, I'm talking about afterlife. I'm not talking about immortality. I'm talking about afterlife. All of a sudden,
the world ends. The world blows up. Okay?
And you're floating through
and
space.
I'm left here to kick rocks. Okay? I'm just kicking rocks in this destroyed planet. Like, the Slee Stacks might come and get me. But
that was a Doctor Who episode. It was a Doctor Who episode. Spoilers. I'll spoil it for you. I don't give a shit. So there's a Doctor Who episode in the previous Doctor that was not the female Doctor. Can't remember the actor's name, but you know what I'm talking about. The older Doctor. Peter Capaldi. Thank you. Peter Capaldi. Maisie Williams guest stars in a few episodes in there.
Arya Stark?
Yes. And spoilers if you've not seen the season yet. Would you like me to spoil it for you? I don't really care.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoilers. The Doctor visits her and she's in like... not medieval times, but like real old England times. Like they're using like longboats and shit like that, and they're before technology is really technology or anything like that. And he saves her life, but the way he does it had a side effect that he thought might happen, but he wasn't sure if it would actually happen. To where she's now immortal. She lives through until the end of the world, and there's a moment towards the end of Clara's span as the companion where he has to go to the end of the world. And at the end of the world, like I don't think he has to go there, but I think he accidentally goes there or something like that. It's literally the end of the world. The end of the universe is happening. The world is ending. There's fire and all the shit is going out. Like shit's going wrong. And there's only one person left on Earth at the end of the world, and it is Maisie Williams' character.
Does she not age?
There. No, she doesn't age. She doesn't die or anything like that. She is right there at the end of the world. And that was the most surreal episode I think I've ever watched, because that's the most fucked up shit that I could ever think of. Was
this one episode?
No. It was spanned over the season. Yeah. Spanned over the season is what it was. But it was one of the most messed up things I've ever seen, because it had the thing that you were saying, like, what if the end of the world and I'm just left by myself kicking rocks? She's left by herself kicking fucking rocks at the end of the world.
Kicking rocks. The ruins of a once great society, and you're just kicking rocks down a broken road. Like,
yeah.
It's heavy, Doc.
It is. Getting heavy. We're getting heavy in this shit. I mean, I don't know. That's my dream afterlife. That's all I want to see. I just want to see the universe, live and breathe. So we're back.
We are.
We're back.
We are.
For Your Distraction is back. How you doing today, Scott?
Doing wonderful, Adam. Doing wonderful. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
I'm
enjoying myself. So I wanted you to watch something. We're gonna get into this. So let's get into this right now. There was something I wanted you to watch. It is a documentary on Netflix.
It sure is.
You haven't finished it yet, but
I'm
you're
almost done.
More than halfway through it. The documentary is called Behind the Curve, and it is a flat earther documentary about feature fucking length long. By the way, it's super long, but it is basically a documentary about the kind of the origins of the idea of flat Earth, who they believe started it. I don't think there's really like any.
That's up for debate.
Yeah, it's up for debate. Yes, right. Yeah, but probably basically about the most popular originator of flat Earth, who his name is Mark Sargent, I believe is his name.
He loves himself too.
He loves himself very much.
He loves himself some me.
He does. I mean, so I don't know how you, the listeners, feel about the flat earther wavelength that's going across the world at the moment.
I don't think our podcast is marketed toward the flat earthers. I hate to say it.
No, like
you get science heavy sometimes on here, and that's not.
I wouldn't say I get science heavy. I'd say we get science heavy, okay. But that's as much as we know about science, but
that's not for them.
No, but
science is not in these people's repertoire.
But anyway, this documentary is probably the greatest documentary I've seen in the past couple months.
I wouldn't go that well. A couple months.
Past few months, only because I laughed really hard throughout the entire documentary. Like, it's basically them sucking their own dicks as flat earthers is what it is. Like, to put it bluntly, that's kind of what it is, because throughout this documentary, it's hilarious. They make testimonies like, we're winning the argument of science. Like, we're like, within like the first like 10 minutes of the documentary, I think this dude Mark talks about how science is on the runs. We've got them on the ropes. We're winning the argument right now. Science, like blah blah, this and that thing.
Yeah,
and he has the most like worst evidence in the world, because he uses the phrase "a picture's worth 1,000 words," and he's referencing the fact that where he lives right now, he has a view of Seattle.
Yeah,
and he said, if the Earth was really round, I shouldn't be able to see Seattle right there.
Yeah, he's standing on one. He's looking over Vancouver Bay, and he goes, "Look, there's Seattle. I can see Seattle. If the Earth was round, then you wouldn't be able to see. It would curve."
Yeah.
No, that's not how the science works.
He forgets things like perspective.
Yes.
I took art. I was an art major at one point in my life. There's something called perspective. If I take my fingers right now, and I go like this, I put them about half inch apart, something like that. I can put your head in between those fingers. That's not me holding your head. That's not the actual size of your head. Your head is a lot fucking bigger than that. I think we call that perspective.
Right.
My perspective is a lot different than yours.
That's like elementary school stuff.
It is.
And his other argument is, which is so, okay, prove to me that the Earth is a sphere. And we're like, okay, we've been to space. Here's a picture of the Earth as a sphere. He goes, well, I haven't been to space. I haven't seen that. How do I know that's not faked? I've never been to space, Adam. Neither of you.
No.
I guess only the people who have been... They're only saying the people who have been to space are the only ones who know. And the government paid them off. And
yeah.
That's their argument.
That's the fucked up part about their argument is... Their entire argument is, oh, you have proof? Well, you were paid off by the lizard men that run the world. Like that's all it is. That's all it is. Like, that's their entire fucking argument, and it's one of those, like, for example, you could put these guys in a rocket ship and send them up to space, orbit the planet, and then bring them back down, and they will say, oh, that was just an amusement ride. They just trapped in an amusement ride, and we just had visuals, like fake visuals. Like, that would be their entire argument. There's a point where he is with this one woman who is a podcaster. I don't remember her name, but I'm not going to dignify her name on the show by advertising to
Yeah,
her.
we're not gonna do that.
I'm not gonna
we're
do
not
that.
Give them that.
But
Yeah.
she's also a big time flat earther, and which, by the way, what the fuck does she do really for a living? Because she has a huge fucking home in an expensive city. Like she's got money, and I'm curious about her tax returns. I want to know what she's doing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But they go to NASA at one point, and it's entirely for the purposes of making fun of. Which, by the way, I think this dude is doubling down on his flat Earth thing because he wants a little bit of poontang.
I think he does. He was totally jonesing for this bitch real hard.
Yeah.
Real
And
hard.
she
it
was not.
I almost wanted to vomit watching this. How
And
bad
she was not jonesing at all for him. I think part of it has to do with like his living conditions. That might be part of it.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure he lived with his mom. I mean,
that's what we think. That's what we think. We don't know. That's what we think.
He didn't come out and say that, but she was always like with him. Like she was like cooking him meals and shit, and like.
What was his favorite meal? Like macaroni something.
She's like, I'm cooking his favorite meal.
It's
chicken noodle soup.
No, it was like hot.
Applesauce.
It's like hot applesauce or something like that. And he like looks at the camera so embarrassed. He's like, "That was my favorite meal when I was a kid." He's like, "You still like?
You still like it?
Yeah, you still like it." So
I'm like, this is hard to watch.
Yeah,
this guy. Oh.
The thing is, like, so my theory. I have a new theory about it when it comes to flat earthers at this point. I think part of it is, first of all, I don't think you're ever going to be able to convince these people ever, no matter the amount of evidence. And I think part of it has to do with the community. And what I mean by that is, you get a lot of these people look like, and they seem like, and I understand it because I was like that at one point in my life, very social outcasts. Yeah. They seem like they don't have a lot of friends, not a lot of loved ones. They're lonely. Single. They're by themselves, and they have nobody in their life. And then they enter this community. Now, I'm not saying that they just entered it for...
cults get started, too.
Basically, yeah. I'm not saying they entered it just for the purpose of socializing. I think they really, like, had an idea of, like, oh, maybe this is something real. Maybe I should look into this. And then they enter this community, like, talking to people. And I think a lot of them realize the aspect of having people in their lives who they can discuss things with and, you know, hang out with and socialize with. And it hits a point where they will double down on their beliefs no matter what, strictly because they don't want to lose that aspect of the community. Because flat earthers are so fucking harsh that if you're a flat earther and then you think that this evidence disproves the flat earther theory, I think they would ostracize you from the community. I truly believe that. I believe if you're a flat earther and then you turn back to global earther, or ball earther as they call it, or whatever it is.
They came up with a million different names.
Yeah.
I
believe that they would just immediately just kick you out of the community and you wouldn't talk to any of them. And yeah. So I do believe that that's part. I kind of believe it doesn't excuse it, but I believe it's part of it. My big thing is, if I have two major points. Number one, they talk about this being like a conspiracy, the flat Earth being like ball Earth being conspiracy. The Earth was really flat. Who is running the conspiracy, and what benefit did they get out of the knowledge of the Earth being flat?
Are you asking me, or is it a rhetorical question?
Rhetorical question, but like you can answer it. Like,
no.
like,
I don't know.
like that's like one of my big things that I'm curious about. Like, what, like, who benefits from it? Like, really?
You got me. I don't know. You have to ask a flat earther that. What's the second point?
Second point, I'm trying to remember. I immediately forgot it. That's how much the shit doesn't make sense. Like, oh, I remember me. I remember now. The second point is, I wouldn't have a problem with flat earther or the flat Earth theory and people believing that if it weren't for the fact that they were so pretentious about their beliefs. Like, and what I mean by that is, they believe it so wholeheartedly without any real evidence that they think you're stupid for not believing in flat Earth. Like, they have doubled down on the fact that we are right, you are wrong, we're winning this argument, you should just get used to it. Like, if they were like, look, I believe the Earth is flat, I don't really know. We're doing tests. We're trying to figure it out for sure. But I believe there's flat. I'd be like, all right, cool, fine, whatever, do your thing. But these guys are like really like they're going in coffee shops. They're attacking, not like physically attacking, but they're attacking like NASA employees. Like there was a one dude that was like went into a coffee shop and was like, oh, he started yelling at and berating this NASA employee like, why is NASA lying to the world, man?
Why do you hate America?
Yeah, why do you hate America? And then he had the nerve to sit there and be like, I don't know why these guys threw me out of the coffee shop. They're just trying to silence me. Like, well, no, because you're an asshole. That's kind of why they did it. But like, there's another part of the documentary where you haven't reached this part where it's really ironic. The podcaster lady and some of the other people will talk about how, yeah, we've got these beliefs and people just treat us like shit for our beliefs. It's ridiculous. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been accosted for my beliefs. People have come up to me and just, been really like just shitty to me because of my beliefs. And it's like really a shitty thing. It's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you really doing?
I mean, the one episode, the one scene in the documentary had one of the flat earthers. He was in a parking lot of a grocery store, and he would just, like, walk up to people, like, old ladies at the grocery store that are minding their own fucking business. He goes right up to them. He's like, excuse me, ma'am, did you know that the earth is flat? And they're like, I beg your pardon? He's like, yeah, the earth is flat. You didn't know that, did you? Well, now you do, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
And, like, he would just go to the next person and do the same thing. I'm like, that's not... People don't want you to fucking do that. It's like, I wish he would come up to me when I'm minding my own business.
Didn't you say you had a flat earther incident at a gas station?
I did, but not quite like that.
No.
I was at a gas station, kind of near where we live, a little bit out of town, and I pulled up to the pump, and I got out to pump the gas, and written almost with like a white marker on the black gas pump, it said, research flat earth. Just written, graffiti style, on this gas pump. Where anybody who would pull up to this gas pump to pump gas would have to read it. And it just makes me shake my head. Like, they consider that a win. That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win in their book. I mean,
they consider that educating people. No, it's not. It's making more people laugh at you.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to spend the whole episode talking about this, but I think like one of the funniest things about it is they run tests in this documentary.
Oh, yeah.
And
gyroscope.
How many tests they ran?
5.
5
tests.
They've got one more coming up the end.
They got a 6th one. Okay.
They run a bunch of tests in this documentary to try to prove, like, using like cameras and distance to see if things curve and like lasers and
the one guy was like, we're gonna use this gyroscope, we're gonna put it in this controlled container, we're gonna set it here. He's like, and our math figures this out. Like, if the
these are physicists, by the way. They're not regular Joes. Like, these are people that have like science degrees that do believe that the earth is flat, who are trying to disprove it or prove the earth is flat. Like, these are scientists.
They weren't scientists.
The guys that were running the test, they have like degrees.
They weren't scientists, but they did have a background in science. They were specific to say that, because the interviewer was like, "So are you guys scientists?" He's like, "No, we're not scientists, but we have a background in science." I don't know what the fuck that means.
I thought whenever they showed their name, they showed like degree in like physics or something like that. I thought it was that.
They did not, because that was pointed out in the episode. The one guy, this Mark Sargent, was asked by the interviewer. He's like, are there any educators? Are there any doctors or scientists that are members of the Flat Earth Society? He smiled. He goes, well, no. And they're like, well, why not? He's like, well, because they'd be forced to leave their profession if they did. He's like, oh, I'm sure there's tons of out there that are, but they're not joining us for that reason of being ridiculed. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So there's none in their society. These people were conducting these tests, and they were going off the scientific theory. So the point was, the Earth rotates 360 degrees in a day, right?
Yeah.
That's what it does. So they did the math. They figured, okay, 24 hours in a day, 360 degrees. In 1 hour, it needs to travel 15 degrees. So we're going to put this gyroscope that measures like what you travel in this controlled environment. We're going to set it here. We're going to leave it there for an hour. And when we pull it out there, it should have traveled 15 degrees. If it doesn't, then the Earth's not flat. Guess what happened? It went 15 degrees each and every time because that's how science works. And they're like, every time when their hypothesis would come crashing down, they'd say, well, we're not ready to accept these results. We're going to try more tests. Like, they never accepted the results. Something was wrong. We got to do it again.
Well, like, a lot of the people that we're talking about, their logic with it was, we're traveling however many miles the Earth travels through space. I can't remember. It's like what 15,000 miles an hour, like a million miles an hour. I don't know. But it travels like a significantly large amount of miles in space. Like, why are we being like thrown around a bunch? Like, a bullet travels this far. If I travel like 80 miles down the highway, you know, like I'm going really fast. Why don't we feel it? Like, why don't we notice it? I'm like, because you're like the size of an ant to a planet. Yeah. That's kind of probably why. I don't know. I'm not a physics major, so I don't know the science behind that. But I don't think I really need to be a physics major to understand that. So
I was just thinking of the movie Watchmen, where he says, "The smartest man in the world is no more important to me than the smartest ant."
Great movie. I watched it recently.
Yeah,
love that movie.
It's 10 years old.
About that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Makes me feel old.
Still holds up. Still holds up.
Theater.
Still holds up, honestly. Check out the documentary, though. If you guys have not watched it, Behind the Curve on Netflix, you'll have a good laugh. Maybe you'll be convinced that the Earth is flat, or maybe you'll be like, huh, this is some ridiculous nonsense.
These people, you know, it's one thing if they were just like, oh, we buy into this Earth is flat. It's bullshit. But hey, this is what we're... No, it didn't end there. Each and every one of them was like full-fledged, tinfoil hat wearing, InfoWars listening to conspiracy theorists. They bought into all of them.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times... What are some of the people that... I don't like to hate. I hate to use the word hate. But I'm going to use it because I hate these people, Adam. What group of people out there that exist that I hate?
Anti-vaxxers.
Anti-vaxxers. You are correct, sir. You win the prize. I hate the anti-vaxxers and the anti-vax movement. And it came up 3 or 4 times, watch this documentary. These flat earthers, they're doing a documentary about the flat earth. And they brought up, oh, in the vaccines, the government wants to lie to you. They want you to be dumb and stupid and tell you the earth is round.
It wasn't just the vaccines. They also brought up planes flying through the air.
The chemtrails.
And like the chemtrails, yeah. They
All
brought
that's
that
bullshit,
up too.
man. All that is absolute bullshit. Vaccinate your kids, people. I've been getting in... I have no chill. Zero chill. When I see on social media some anti-vaxxer post something, I let the motherfucker have it. I don't care if you're a grandma or a 10-year-old or anything in between. You don't deserve to have that platform. You don't deserve to spread these falsehoods and these lies that can put children's lives at risks. If you are an anti-vaxxer, fuck you. And I mean that seriously. I can't... Fuck you. Fuck everyone you care about. Fuck everyone that's ever supported you in your life because you are a fucking scumbag. I hate the anti-vaxxers. I hate them.
Here's my thing. Like, I feel like it's kind of like the Matrix, where it's like, you got a lot of people that are rebelling against this idea. And let's assume it's true. Let's assume it's true. Let's assume there's a conspiracy. Let's assume there's a lizard man behind every politician. And let's assume that we're in a petri dish surrounded by a dome or, you know, Game of Thrones style high ice walls or whatever. Let's assume that's all true. What's your end goal? Even if you bring the truth out and like everybody like knows, oh, the earth is actually flat. First of all, what's that going to change? Not really change anything, because what the fuck are you going to do about it? Second of all, it's kind of like Cypher in the Matrix, where it's like he betrayed his fellow humans so that he can be jacked back in the Matrix because he doesn't want to exist in the real world. So he's like, you know, meeting with Agent Smith, sitting there saying like, look, just jack me back in. I'll help you get Morpheus. I'll help you get Neo, all this other bullshit. Just jack me back in. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything. I want to live my life in blind bliss because, you know, whatever. If you live, I don't know. It's one of those weird things of like, if we're living our lives and it's a fake life, but we're happy in our lives, like, even if we know it's a lie, does that make it bad? I don't know. It's an ultimate philosophical question, I guess.
If it's not harming anybody, I guess not. See,
like literally not harming it.
Yeah,
Like
it's like-
nobody is getting hurt by the lie. It's like
the flat Earth theory, as much as I laugh about it, and I think the flat earthers are absolute morons, it's them believing that and putting billboards up and writing on gas pumps doesn't affect anybody. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose any sleep. Believe what you want, whatever. But the anti-vax movement does. It does affect children. It affects lots of children. These preventable diseases are making comebacks because of these people. So yes, that does matter. It does hurt people. That's the difference between those two.
Yeah.
But that Mark Sargent, the I guess you'd say the main focus of the documentary, I could tell you what his goal is. He wants to be famous. He loves the attention he's getting. He loves being the center of this documentary. They did flat earth meetups, and they had a flat earth convention, and he does this podcast regularly, and he's like a fucking celebrity among these flat earthers.
And I'll be honest with you, I can't blame him. I can't blame him for that, because who doesn't want that kind of attention? I would like that kind of attention
If
sometimes.
he doesn't, like, what was he? He was a loser, single, 50-something, fat, middle-aged white man who lived in his mom's basement. He had nothing before this. The flat earth movement that crowned him prince, if you will, was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah.
He might not believe it for one fucking second, but he's gonna ride that cash cow as long as he can.
Yeah.
He goes to these parties. People were giving him gifts. He was signing autographs. He's living the dream.
Which, like I said, can't blame him. That's like the human condition. Like, you want to be loved, and you want to, and like I can't really fault the guy for that. I guess, you know, I really can't. If that is his goal, if he just loves the limelight and loves the love that he's getting in the celebrity status, I really can't fault him for that. I really can't fault him for that.
If Mark Sargent is going to be famous, I guess that's not really much different than like the Kardashians being famous.
Not really, no.
You know.
So
to each his own, I suppose. Idiots worship the Kardashians. I guess idiots worship Mark Sargent too. It just go. The only thing that makes me mad about it is the stupidity, the dumbing down of our culture.
yeah,
The fact that there's people out there that are flat earthers that may have offspring, and they're going to instill their beliefs like religion among their kids, you know?
yeah.
And these kids are going to go to school and say, "Oh, the Earth is flat," and their teacher's going to say, "No, it's fucking not." And the kids, like, it's just going to cause a whole generation of problems.
It
Stupidity.
causes a whole generation of problems. In fairness, so that's not any different than any religion. It's really
No,
not.
it's not.
It's really not. So
It's not organized religion.
Yes.
I mean, there's benefits. Religion does have its benefits, but some would say the pros outweigh the cons. Some would say the reverse of that.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just dumbing down of our culture. That's how we have Donald Trump as a fucking president now.
And that's the moment that Scott compared the dumbing down of our culture
It
to
is.
Donald Trump being president.
He's doing Donald Trump. I just saw this week. He's already doing campaign events. He's already campaigning for 2020. He doesn't even know he's going to be running against. He's already campaigning. And guess I saw what's happening. People were having him get his autograph in their fucking Bibles, Adam.
I saw that too.
Did you see his
I did see that.
autographing Bibles?
I did see that.
This serial adulterer and this criminal. I saw a meme that says, "Oh, he's signing his name awful big. He better leave room for the other 3 horsemen of the apocalypse." Pretty funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, enough of that bullshit. I heard, and I want you to tell me about this because I want you to see if you know about this. What the fuck is going on with Michael Jackson now?
He's
Like,
dead.
Well, yeah, he's dead, but there's this big like hullabaloo of like fuck Michael Jackson that's like starting now.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like, do you know what is going on with?
Well,
dude's been dead for a while, and it's like now all of a sudden people are coming up like, oh fuck, this dude is horrible. Fuck Michael Jackson. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, it all started with. Are you familiar with the R. Kelly documentary that came out?
I want to piss on you.
So
yes, I do.
I watched part of it. Honestly, I could not finish it. It was so terrible. Like, I felt depressed after.
Was it like terrible as in like bad quality, or was it like terrible as in like, oh, he's such a shitty person, I can't watch any more of this?
So it's first and foremost, it's the court of public opinion. I've never passed the bar exam. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a judge. I'm just a regular guy. When you watch these documentaries, 9 times out of 10, they slant and they're one-sided. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But yes, this documentary, the R. Kelly one...
He fucked a 14-year-old girl.
Several.
Like
they pointed out...
I heard it was like hard sex too, like choking and like rough,
bad.
like real shit that 14-year-olds should not go through.
Like bad. Like he was a predator, and like he would go hang out at high schools and pick up high school girls and like have uncomfortable like bondage sex with them, and like go to the malls and use his celebrity status to pick up like extremely young girls.
That is like, I don't.
Again,
I don't get it.
It's all alleged. But
every lie has some grain of truth in there.
That's fine. You can say that. But what this documentary is presenting, they're presenting it this way. They're saying this guy's a fucking scumbag. Well, this documentary was insanely popular. It got really good ratings. It made a ton of money. So I think that kind of spawned.
I thought, but okay, sorry, not to get off your thought process, but I thought that there was like actual footage of him fucking a 14-year-old girl, and that's why he's like in court and like in jail or whatever.
Well, no, that was like some time ago. He was like eating ass.
No, I thought it was like recent, like within like the past year.
I think
he's
in jail right now, yeah. But I thought. I could be wrong on this. I'm not up on it. But part of it was he owed like $50,000 in child support because he's got like a ton of kids out there to all these different women, and some of them are pretty young. But
I had heard that there was a rumor. I don't remember where I heard it. I don't remember how, but I had heard that he was in big trouble recently because a tape came out that he recently fucked a 14-year-old girl. Like it was a recent tape, not
maybe.
Like the Piss on You tape from like 15 years ago or whatever. Like
Piss on You tape.
It was like a real,
shower.
It was like a real like Today tape where like he was like bondage, rough sex kind of play with a 14-year-old. Like that's what I heard.
That
I could be
well
wrong. I could be wrong.
No, that very well could be. I don't know about that, and maybe that's part of the reason why he's in trouble, because a lot of these instances that are brought to you in the documentary, they happened a long time ago in the 90s.
Yeah,
and these girls that were like 14, 15, 16 years old at the time are now adults, and the statute of limitation has run out, so he can't get in trouble for these cases. But if there's a newer one, more recent, then yes, he absolutely can be charged with that. But I do know he was in trouble for not paying child support, and I do think he is currently in jail right now. But he might have posted bond and he might be out. But
anyway,
the documentary was really, really tough to watch. I couldn't even finish it, but it was insanely popular. So I feel like the popularity of that documentary spawned them making the documentary about Michael Jackson, which I have not watched yet because I'm kind of apprehensive to watch it because of how the R. Kelly documentary made me feel. So I don't think I'm going to. But even before Michael Jackson died, there were whispers of him
more than whispers. More than whispers.
He went to court. He actually went to court about it, and he was acquitted. He was not charged with anything. There was not enough evidence or whatever. But now that he has passed away, now that he's dead, more people are coming out, more stories are coming out, but you've got the camp. You've got the camp that is like supporting him, that's diehard, that's defending him to the end. And then you've got the other people who just think he's a scumbag. I like R. Kelly. I like R. Kelly's music. He's a piece of shit. I like Michael Jackson's music. I don't know if he actually... I've seen interviews with young kids. These young kids are like, I was involved in Michael Jackson's life. I had sleepovers at the Neverland Ranch in the same room as him. He never once was inappropriate to me or touched me or did anything like that. Other kids say the opposite.
I'm curious about how... I just thought of this. I'm curious about how you take that, because it's not me trying to insult you in any kind of way, but when it comes to these kind of like sexual abusive situations, you always take the victim side over the predator side, the alleged predator side,
right?
Even when there's not any definitive proof, really. Like, you will always take the victim side.
Well,
like,
in some cases, it's tough.
Who was the latest Supreme Court dude? What was his
Kavanaugh.
name? Kavanaugh. There was no legitimate proof that anything he did happened. Like, no, but you wholeheartedly to this day say he's a scumbag, horrible rapist individual, despite the fact there's no definitive proof. Why is it stopping you from saying Michael Jackson is a horrible scumbag, pedophile proof when there's no...
He might be.
When
he might be. I haven't watched this yet, Adam. That's my whole point.
But
once I watch this,
but
I'm saying R. Kelly's a fucking scumbag.
But the documentary didn't prove R. Kelly was a scumbag. We knew he was a scumbag before because we knew he fucking pissed on a 14-year-old girl before. Mm-hmm. We don't... The documentary doesn't need to prove that Michael Jackson might have had, some I'm going to say unnatural relationships with a child. Maybe not sexual in nature, but definitely what some would consider borderline pedophilic. And based on that little bit of evidence, like, he should be a scumbag in your eyes, honestly. Like, the evidence is up in the air, but like I said, the evidence was up in the air in the Kavanaugh hearings.
Right.
But
right.
Because he
and
was...
Guess what? Kavanaugh got off. He's sitting currently on our Supreme Court. I still think he's a scumbag.
But my point
because the evidence was presented in court. Could it prove one way or the other? No, it couldn't. But I just believed the victim. In this case...
Shouldn't you believe the children victims?
I am.
So then Michael Jackson's a terrible, horrible scumbag.
He is. But it's going to be the same thing as Kavanaugh. He's not going to get in any trouble.
Well, he's dead. He's not going to get in any trouble.
I don't know if his legacy will be tarnished.
I don't think he gives a shit. He's dead.
I'm sure his family does.
I'm just saying.
His family does. His kids probably do. His siblings, they're still alive.
Yeah.
I don't
think he cares about his... Too soon.
Is it though?
I didn't think he liked his siblings, though. I didn't think he liked his family like that. Like, his kids, obviously, but his siblings and his parents.
I think he and Janet... I think he was close with Janet. I don't know about Freddie or LaToya or Tito, but...
Hey, Tito!
But... I don't know. It's tough for me because you got.
I'm just curious about your opinion of it, because I for one, I'll give my opinion. I for one, obviously, I think R. Kelly is a scumbag. I have said wholeheartedly for years, Michael Jackson, kiddly fiddled, is what I'm.
He did?
I 100% not, and honestly, I don't think he did it in a sexual manner. I do believe that he didn't have a childhood. I do believe he was mentally. Not gonna say mentally deficient, but he was mentally damaged in a way where, because he didn't really have a childhood, he was abused by his parents mentally. So then he felt like he regressed later in his life to be a child, where he wanted to have those childhood experiences.
I agree.
It doesn't fucking matter though if you're having sleepovers with 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old kids. I don't care about your past. I don't give a shit how mentally damaged your parents made you. If you're having sleepovers at your private home called Neverland Ranch with that young of kids, anybody under the age of 18, you are a scumbag. I don't care.
Well, I think I need to do a little more. I paid attention to the Kavanaugh hearings. I listened to the testimonies. I saw R. Kelly's P tape. So I paid attention. Those two cases, I was ready to draw my own conclusion that they were both fucking pieces of shit and scumbags. As far as Michael Jackson goes, I gotta be brutally honest with you, I haven't paid it much attention.
Who in America didn't pay much attention when it was going down?
I really didn't. When he was
to be blind, living under a rock to not pay attention to that.
But no, Adam, listening to what the media spoon feeds you and drawing a conclusion for yourself are two different things. They really are. I didn't let the media spoon feed me R. Kelly or Brett Kavanaugh. I did my own research. I looked into those people.
I didn't. I heard the kids' testimony. I heard what the kids were saying.
Did you though? Because I haven't. For Michael Jackson.
Back years ago.
No, I never did.
Years ago, I heard some of the kids were saying, yeah.
Okay, I never did. I really didn't.
Is it because you didn't want to believe it? Is that why? Or you just didn't care?
I was never a huge fucking... I didn't jerk off to the Thriller album. Did I like it? Yes. But was he I
didn't jerk off to the Thriller album either, but it was one of those scandals.
You're acting like, oh my God, are you putting your head in the sand and not paying attention to these kids because you're such an MJ fan?
No, I didn't say it was
I really wasn't.
What I'm saying was it was in the limelight for so fucking long that you you literally had to avoid paying attention to it in order to miss it. That's what I'm saying. It was so much out there that you had to actively avoid missing it miss it.
It was a long time ago when he was in court for this.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. Maybe at the time I heard things in passing, but I really can't. To this day, I don't remember much about that trial at all. I remember more about the OJ trial.
Well, yeah, that was a murder.
I remember more about the Casey Anthony trial. I remember the big cases, the ones that made Nancy Grace famous, but I don't remember much about that case, other than stuff I'm hearing from you, Michael Jackson fiddled. What'd you call it? Diddly to fiddly? Kiddly fiddling. Okay, yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that.
He fiddled kids.
Did he? Maybe, but I don't know. I really don't know, and frankly, I don't give a shit. I really don't. He's fucking dead. Brett Kavanaugh and R. Kelly are both still alive. They should be punished.
But it's one of those things where Michael Jackson is, shouldn't history dictate the truth as opposed to what people like?
I've heard there's
should it's if you found out that somebody in history, let's say Abraham Lincoln, you found out that he raped women all the time. We all love Abraham Lincoln, but let's say you found out he raped women all the time. Wouldn't that be something, look, he's dead, but wouldn't that be something you'd want to know? Motherfucker was raping women left and right?
So there's a story. Benjamin Franklin, one of the most beloved founding fathers of our country, his house
has a bondage den. Please tell me it has a bondage den. Circa 50 Shades of Grey style.
Like Benjamin Franklin's home in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There's a historical society plaque out front that says this was Benjamin Franklin's home. Well, they were doing some remodeling that was needed. It's from the 1700s.
Oh yeah.
So they had to do some foundation work. They were digging in the basement and they found dozens of human skeletal remains. And there was this whole thing. Holy shit. Benjamin Franklin was a fucking serial killer and he murdered people and buried them in his basement. Well, guess what? It came out, and this is so fucking more fitting, that he would go to the local morgue and purchase bodies of dead people and bring them back to his house and do science experiments on them.
That makes sense for the time.
And then he would bury them when he was done with them. I'm well, that's fucking weird still.
Yes.
But that's definitely fitting of something that he would do. He didn't go
That's not fitting of something he would do. That's fitting for the time.
Yeah,
any average Joe could probably go to the fucking morgue back then and be like, hey, can I get
Got any bums that died this week?
Yeah, I'll give you $20.
Here's a shilling.
Yeah. It's fitting for the time.
But yeah, it was
now if it came out that he had a journal that he loved doing Saw 3 techniques on fuckers and he was burying in the backyard, then I'd be we gotta stop using electricity now. We gotta fucking stop this shit now. Get the next stage of shit.
I mean, he was a freak too. He was definitely into some butt stuff, but
dude,
who isn't? R. Kelly sure as heck fire is.
Is it too soon for that joke? I think it's a little too soon. I think it's a little too soon to be
All
joking
right,
around like
so-
that. I don't know.
So
It's
you really, what are you trying to get me to do here? Shit on
no,
MJ? I don't.
I'm trying to make sure you're consistent. When you hate the Patriots, you had told me a couple years ago, that like a year or two ago, you were like, there was a call about the Patriots. I'm not gonna talk about what game it was because we don't fucking remember. You made a big deal about it. It was a huge fucking deal. We talked about it on the show. You made a huge deal about how consistency in football, where it's like, I don't care if the rule is that's the rule. It's a bullshit rule, but I don't care if that's the rule. But I'd like it to be consistent.
Right.
So I'd like you to be consistent about your victim blaming and shit like that, and all the victims and stuff like that.
And I will be, and I just can't draw.
In my opinion, about as much evidence has come out against Michael Jackson as came out with Kavanaugh. About the same amount of fucking evidence has come out, because everything that has come out with Kavanaugh was hearsay. Everything that's come out with Michael Jackson has been hearsay.
But the difference was, I watched C-SPAN. I know I'm a fucking nerd. I watched C-SPAN for the Kavanaugh hearing when he testified in Congress, and I listened to his accuser, Dr. whatever her name was. I can't think of her name right now. I listened to her testimony, and it was so powerful. And I mean, if she was making this shit up, you need to give her a fucking take all of Meryl Streep's Oscars away from her and give them to her, because she was just so powerful. And somebody get up there and bold-faced lie and make that shit up, she needs an award.
But as far as the law is concerned, that was all still hearsay.
Exactly. And that's why he's not in jail, Adam. And that's why he's sitting on the Supreme Court. And do I like the guy? No. Do I think he should have been on the Supreme Court? No. But do I think there was enough evidence to accuse him? No, there wasn't. It was all hearsay. But my opinion, the court of public opinion, I think he did this shit. I think he sucks. And that's all I have to say about that. I did not, and I saw the P-tape for R. Kelly. That's how I can think that those two suck. I'll get back to you on Michael Jackson. I have not listened.
Every time you say I saw the P-tape of R. Kelly, every time you say that, I think back to the Dave Chappelle bit when he's trying to be, they're questioning him to be a juror on trials, and they're questioning to be a juror on the R. Kelly tape. It's like, have you seen the P tape? It's like, seen it about 4 or 5 times. You remember that scene where he's like moving his hips like and it was like this weird thing, and I was like, it was hilarious back then.
That reminds me of the Saturday Night Live skit where they had to pick a jury for OJ, but it was OJ's second crime where he like kidnapped somebody and stole a bunch of his memorabilia back, and like he was going on trial for that. Yeah. But they had to pick a jury that didn't know anything about his first case.
Oh,
do you remember this one?
Yeah.
And it was like, okay,
had to pull like a.
They got like Jim the wolf boy who lived in the woods and was raised by wolves. They got a man who just recently came out of a 40-year coma. And an alien from outer space who came down to invade, but they said, put your invasion on hold. We need you to sit on this jury.
I do remember this bit. That's great. Because it's not wrong. I gotta be honest with you. I think my sister is 18 as of this year. I don't think she knows about O.J. Simpson and like his shit. Yeah. I don't think she does.
This SNL episode was from a long time ago, so it might not hold up today.
I was just saying, like, I don't think at this point she knows about like the OJ anything. Like, I don't know how far that's gonna go down in history. To be honest with you, I can't. I have a hard time watching Naked Gun anymore because of OJ Simpson. I really have a hard time doing it. Like, I love Leslie Nielsen and I love the Naked Gun movies, but I tried watching the first Naked Gun few weeks ago, and after like the first like half hour, is like, I can't watch anymore because they're doing all these bits with OJ and everything like that. I'm like, this fucker killed somebody and I can't do it right now. Or I wonder if that's going to be with Michael Jackson like 10 years. Like, I love his music, but I can't fucking listen to this shit right now because motherfucker was fiddling with kids. Can't do it. I don't know. I was just curious about, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know it was a documentary. I thought like new information or like some weird videotape came out, because people have been shit talking Michael Jackson for like the past like few weeks or something like that.
Yeah, there's a radio station I just recently heard that they made an announcement that the radio station has pulled and they will no longer play any of R. Kelly's music or, more importantly, any of Michael Jackson's music.
I think I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, there's a radio station that's going to do it. And it was like a hip-hop and R&B station, like R&B. Like, you got to play Michael Jackson. You probably got to play R. Kelly, too.
Yeah.
Nope, not anymore. So, yeah, I don't know.
I want you to do a little more research, and I want you to come back with a report. What you think, like what your thought is. And I'm not gonna.
We'll come back next week. I got homework.
Yeah,
I'll do this.
Yeah, I got homework too, but not your kind of homework. But I want you to. This is your assignment. I want you a little bit of research, not much. Watch a few videos. Read a couple things.
I'm not prepared to crucify him yet until I listen to both sides of the argument, like I did in the other cases that I'm willing to draw a conclusion with. I gotta be fair.
That is fair. That is extremely fair. So we're coming to the end of the show, but I had a weird thought that I wanted to bring up. I was watching, as I like to do when I do homework, I was watching Star Trek Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and a thought popped in my head. Now, do you remember towards the end of the series of Star Trek Next Generation when Ro Laren came on the show? You remember Ensign Ro, the
name rings a bell.
What was the race? Shit. DS9. It was all about
Bajoran.
Bajoran. When she was a Bajoran ensign that came on the show. You remember the episode whenever they got turned to kids, and she was one of the people that got turned to kids?
Yeah. Okay.
With like Whoopi Goldberg and Patrick Stewart and shit like that.
Yes.
Okay. Ensign Ro Laren. It was the first episode she came on. She came on the Enterprise and she had that Bajoran earring.
Yeah, they all have
that,
those.
That was on her ear. Riker made the biggest fucking deal about how you cannot wear that because that is not Starfleet official. That is not like Starfleet dress code. And so he made her take it off. Now, I thought about this and thinking about it, for 7 fucking seasons, 7 goddamn seasons, had not Worf been wearing that fucking Klingon sash over top his Starfleet uniform? Where was Riker's bullshit then?
Racist Riker.
Racist fucking Riker. Apparently, fucking socialism doesn't extend to the fucking Bajoran earrings, so...
Well, I mean, I will say this about Will Riker. He was a by-the-book first officer.
Unless it came with fucking alien women, he was by the fucking...
I don't think that...
That
does not violate the Prime Directive.
He subscribed to Kirk's ideal when it came to interplanetary diplomacy, is what he did. So,
but I mean, I don't know the whole backstory. How long had the Bajorans been a member of Starfleet?
Does it matter because the Klingons are not a member of Starfleet?
They were.
They aren't. They are not a member of Starfleet.
They were a friendly.
They were allied, but they're not. They're not a member of Starfleet. They're their own thing. Technically, I don't think the Bajorans are a member of Starfleet either.
But what is it called, like, when you can join Starfleet from a...
You become a member of the Federation. That's what it's called.
The Federation.
Starfleet. It's
not
same
Starfleet,
thing.
the Federation.
It's the same thing.
But the Klingons were in the Federation, weren't they?
No.
They weren't technically a member of the Federation.
No, they were not. They were allies.
And the Bajorans weren't either.
They were about as member of the Federation as the Romulans.
No, the Romulans were assholes.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they were about as member of the Federation as the Romulans. They were their own thing. They were basically their own organization that were just allied. It's like we are allies with Britain, but Britain and America aren't the same thing.
But we have the United Nations, and they're members of the United Nations, and so are we. The Federation of Planets. You mean
it's not the Federation of Planets is not a United Nations. It is Federation of Planets is kind of controlled by the Vulcans and the humans for the most part. They're kind of controlled by that. That's kind of where But
are they the only two that are in it?
No, they're the only two that are in it. But whenever they bring a new planet to the Federation, you're kind of bringing them under your control. It's not like you rule them. You don't rule them and you don't control everything they do, but they have to adhere to some of your rules.
Kind of sounds like what the Americans and British do in the United Nations. It's not that far off from them. Especially the Americans.
Yeah, but the Klingons weren't part of that. Like, Klingons did not... You think the Klingons going to adhere to fucking Federation guidelines?
I mean, not in the original series, absolutely not.
In the next generation, no, absolutely not.
After the wars are over, they have a peace accord, they're friendlies.
No, absolutely not. 100% no. 100% no.
So it's just Riker being racist.
It's Riker being extremely racist because, like, Worf was wearing that sash, that Klingon sash for 7 fucking seasons, and Riker sees this lady wearing a fucking earring for 5 seconds. She's like, that's not Federation.
Was Worf's bandolier, I don't know what you would even call it.
I called it a sash.
Worf's bandolier, was it a religious thing?
It was a Klingon thing. Because if you remember, there was, do you remember whenever Worf took the blame for his, when they framed Worf's father for...
House of Moog.
Yes, when they framed his father for what happened at whatever that Klingon outpost when the Romulans attacked it, Worf took the blame for that. And when he took the blame for that, one of the Klingons, I can't remember who it was, said, "You don't deserve to wear our uniform or whatever," and ripped the sash off. Ripped the bandolier off of him. Yes.
I was going to say, if the Bajoran earring was not really a religious thing, if it was like
it's a cultural thing.
Cultural thing, but the Klingons was, well then there's going to be like, okay, well, we can't make this person remove their hijab because it would be against their religion, but we can make them take off their do-rag. You know what I mean? Difference between religious and cultural.
But what is the difference between religious and cultural? Because is not religion part of your culture? Isn't like the belief in Kalis, which is basically religion, part of their culture?
Many religions, I should say, many cultures, the main cornerstone is religion. So I would say they could go hand in hand.
Yes. So, like, if the aliens came to visit Earth now, and they stopped at the United States first... And that was a big stop. The majority religion is like Catholicism, Christianity. So they would equate.
In the United States?
Yes, in the United States. So they
We're
would
a Christian nation.
So
for
they
the
would
most
equate.
part.
They would equate part of humanity's culture, Catholicism, and Christianity.
The world, or just the United States?
They would, if the aliens stopped and their first stop was the United States, and that was their first knowledge of the humans, their first initial thought would be that the Christianity and Catholicism were part of humanity's culture.
They would be wrong. But they might draw that conclusion. But if they're intelligent beings from another world that are capable of interstellar space travel, they probably are more advanced and should be able to subscribe to like Herodotus and different forms of...
They give me Herodotus?
That's the one. That you mean? That's the one.
Okay.
And
I wasn't sure if that's who you meant or not when you. Okay.
You know, it's
dude. Greek names fucking suck.
It's just anthropology. It's a study of people. I mean, you gotta.
Dude, I got an A in that class.
You gotta take a larger sampling size before you meet. I mean, you land in Franklin Graham's backyard. You can't be like, oh, everybody's like this dick. No, they're not. Like you gotta.
You could. It's like Mars. It's like Mars attacks. You know, they landed and they killed the president with a needle hand. Is what they did.
There's a new video game coming out. I don't remember what it was called, but I saw a commercial for it on TV, and it shows like the White House like on fire and destroyed, and there's like some battle going on in the yard, and like I wish I knew what the game was. You might know. And you're like there's like a group of soldiers like running out from the White House, like shooting at these other guys that are like attacking. You know, like there's two sides, two forces fighting a battle in Washington D.C. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't know which side I'm for right now.
Yeah.
Like, I might be running at the team, like, fighting that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, at this point, who knows?
At this point, like, which one of you guys are the bad guys? Because I don't know from watching this trailer.
Good show, sir.
Yes.
Good show.
Yes.
If you want to get a hold of For Your Distraction, you can email us, foryourdistraction@gmail.com. You can search our social media sites, Facebook and Twitter. Search For Your Distraction at Podcast FYD. We are on SoundCloud and iTunes. We're also a member of the Be Real Podcasting Network, so head over to Podbean and search for the Movie Guys Podcast. That is our official, unofficial hub for the Be Real Network. We would also like to thank the London Kugels. We were drinking that last week. We're finishing this up this week. It's a great beer if you've not tried it. It's great summer beer. Great summer beer.
So you're saying Riker was a racist?
I'm saying Riker is insensitive to other people's culture.
Do you think
he's not insensitive to that pussy though?
Do you think Riker would be insensitive to flat earthers?
Maybe.
Do flat earthers exist in the 24th century?
I hope not. For God's sakes, I hope not. Like, you could literally take a shuttlecraft and fly out. Like, people have their own private flying cars. Like, what do you... No.
Vaccinate your kids, people.